arrest. So what's of that?
And yes, you like. And yes.
Tonight, I am going to give you a whole coverage of the lawlessness, the exposure or exposés, the criminal enterprise establishments that APC, Egbekegbe, people destroying people, and everything this establishment represents as in one big fold. Share the broadcast. So today, good morning to you once again. Good afternoon to you. And good evening to you from wherever you are joining me from. It is Maiyegun live. Like I said, I came with bag of goodies, just like Dino Keneri Melaye. Keneri Dino handed over 2 bags. He came with 2 bags in the course of arresting the Yeye Bello of Kogi. It would have been a long story, but I'm not going to bore you with it. Just the summary of what led to the drama of today. Well, for those who kind of remember the inglorious criminal government of Yeye Bello, the Tatata of Kogi, the looting of Kogi, as well as the impoverishment of the Kogi people, to the point that his only success are the praise singers that he, every now and then passes the crumb from his loot too. 83 billion is what they said Yeye Bello have stolen from Kogi. And to avoid all of this, when Yeye Bello finished his 8 years tenure as governor of Kogi, he quickly created an office, first of its kind, in Nigeria, possibly in the world, the office of the ex-governor. Is to still be addressed as governor. All of the sort of the paraphernalia of office that makes him still feel like he's governor were sort of added. He succeeded in rigging his stooge Ododo in as the governor to cover his ass. Except Ododo decide to go clean. Yeye Bello's insurance against exposure and possibly jail, even in a corrupt Nigeria, lies in the hands of Ododo. And today, he came through for him. Because those crumb eaters, ass lickers, crumb chasers, the voluntary slaves of Kogi, the victims of Yeye Bello's 8 years of waste, where young people, young able-bodied people, on a Tuesday morning, when they were supposed to be at work, their slave master called them. They are about to arrest me for stealing your money. You need to come and, And just like that, the news of the EFCC attempt to arrest Yeye Bello spread like wildfire. But it wasn't, it didn't come by without its own sort of a behind-the-scene drama. From what we heard, this EFCC of Olukayode, they have been looking for Yeye Bello for a while. Even some of you can attest to the fact that you haven't been seeing the white lion of Kogi. Abi, is that not what you call him? The white lion. You have not really been seeing much of him. He's been kind of hiding. The success tracking that they said led to the drama of today was because Yeye Bello left his phone in Kogi to make him look like he is in Kogi. All right. But they were able to track him to Abuja through the mobile phone of one of his aides. And the moment they realized that he was in there, they moved in to pick him up. How could you do this? What kind of a thing? You know what I mean? And for clarity, just for clarity, for those who have been following their politics like us, Yeye Bello happened to be one of the alleged cabal that tried to stop Tifnumbu from becoming the candidate of APC. In fact, I think he also picked the form to be president too. He did. Then midway, like El Rufaya, I don't know what went wrong. The two supposed frontal opposition to Tifnumbu, they just switched side. They became the champion of the campaign against Emefiole when Emefiole said he was changing the Naira. So that last minute change, to others, they said, that never really granted Yeye Bello for, a sort of a pardon or forgiveness from Tifnumbu. And therefore, Yeye Bello believed that he was supposed to be enjoying immunity like others. Why are they coming after him? So he mobilized his boys. Let's go to that quarters where the drama started today. The first part, when the EFCC was said to have arrived at the scene. That was when the Ododo came. In fact, if we have to put it right, let's start with this. That was the moment of the pre-pandemonium. Here is another one. Then, at a point, the governor of Kogi State, the Yeye Bello says to G, Ododo, listen to this. There were policemen supposedly protecting Yeye Bello, including some DSS. Now, EFCC, who came to pick him up since he has been avoiding them and ignoring their invitation. Yeye Bello went to court in Nigeria, and the court granted Yeye Bello immunity from arrest. This is where the Owala kind of started. Nigerian court granted Yeye Bello immunity from arrest, prosecution, or detention, or anything at all. So he's holding on to that. And EFCC is like, no, how is that even possible? But it is Nigeria, sure you get. So they moved in anyway. So the policemen who are protecting Yeye Bello, a criminal, said they can't let the EFCC take him. His thugs, or supposed his victims, some people said they are not actually victims anyway. When we look at it, many Nigerians are not victims. They are actually part and parcel of whatever it is happening as they wanted it to be. So there's no point in looking at them and call them victims, but literally they are victims of their own greed, maybe. So while they held the EFCC down from taking the fugitive Yeye Bello, Ododo rushed down from Kogi, and when he landed, before the gunshot, this was his entrance, the first one you saw. So in a nutshell, the state governor of Kogi stopped EFCC from arresting a fugitive former governor. And that is Nigeria. All right? It didn't come easy. All right? They had to start shooting. Yes, the policemen, the DSS, and those guns, loyal to the governor, the current governor, and they shot their way out, and they took the former governor, Yeye Bello, fugitive Yeye Bello. They took him away from that place, possibly to return him back to his reserved bedroom in the government house of Kogi in Lokoja. Dino Keneri Melaye, on his own part, was like, yes, this is the day. If EFCC not get enough evidence, he has some, and he was willing to hand them over. Take a look.
You can put this. Okay, this is this is the anti-corruption network. This is the office. This is the evidence. The exhibit, the evidence we have against the governor of Yeye Bello and his cohort. We are on our way to EFCC to adopt the petition we wrote against Governor Bello and his cohorts. Guys are being put inside the car. $2 must go. We are on our way to EFCC to adopt the petition we wrote against Governor Bello and his cohorts, and we have the evidence being loaded inside the vehicle of anti-corruption network.
That was Keneridino and his anti-corruption network. The irony. Anyway, as the EFCC couldn't get Yeye Bello today, they had Cubana chief priests instead. But that's a win on the side, if you ask me. If the billionaire thieves, public treasury looters are becoming evasive from justice, how about the Naira abusers? Anyway, last week, a Nigerian judge sentenced Idris Okuneye, aka Bobrisky, to a 6-month jail without an option of fine for abusing the Naira. And a lot of people have been like, oh, more abusing Naira. What is the meaning of abusing Naira? Is it when you rough handle the money? Is it when you stamp on it? Or is it when you spray the money? They said all of that is part of the abusing the Naira. Okay. Bobrisky's appearance in court, he pleaded guilty. Poor boy or poor man. You know why I said that is because normal, I don't think you should plead guilty if you have received adequate legal advice on what really translates to abusing the Naira. Is it the way I'm spending it in the video or the way people are stamping on it? What connects that? They said all of it, right? Then, okay, let us go and struggle it out in your lawless cash and carry court. So the guy pleaded guilty. And some people now felt like they are now the soft targets. As EFCC has no business with all this currency, that, except those who are really carrying out financial crimes. Anyway, soft target or no soft target, they got a conviction. A conviction of 6 months without the option of fine. That won't be the end of it. Grab that one that is called the Cubana chief priest. He is next. So if Yeye Bello is not at their own reach, this one is. And the guy was like, no, I'm not going to go the way of the mummy of Lagos. So, are you guilty or not? There are video evidence. Say if you are going to sentence me the way you sentence Bobrisky, then I'm not going to go down just like that. Not without, because we don't even know what is going on. So the guy now said, no, I am not guilty. You would have to prove to me what is the meaning of the valuing Naira by spending it or spraying it. How are you sure that that money that you are seeing in the video, how are you sure that it is original Naira? Did you use any machine? Did you pick some of them? Anyway, now the Twitter lawyers, they you know, sometimes when you read some of them, you can pretend to be, I mean, they can be very convincing. One of them was like, yes, I love the fact that he pleaded non-guilty. In law, the accused, the person who alleged must prove. Oh, really? Okay, tell us more. Yes, now, if you said he's defacing Naira, you would have to prove that you have the copy of that note, not just video. He's an entertainer. So what if they're just a replica of Naira, just fake Naira, just to use that for the show? Because he's an entertainer. Cubana disaster, or actually, you should join his legal team. You think say the EFCC that wanted to actually have something as a distraction so that the big thieves can continue to cool off. They think they don't know what they are doing. No wonder. What's that boy's name again? Too. I'm sorry, I'll just continue. I wanted to remember this guy who pleaded just yesterday that if they see his video where he's sharing money, the EFCC should please not arrest him. Or it was only helping people. What's that guy's name again? Anyway, the Cubana chief priest, the EFCC was able to take to court today, pleaded not guilty, and he was released on bail, on 10 million naira bail. The punishment for defacing the naira, like writing on the money, or burning the money, or tearing the money, or stamping on it, the punishment is 50,000 naira fine or 6 months in jail. Here you get. So which one is 10 million? So by the way, the guys, I mean, they said the 10 million doesn't really have to be like you have to pay the 10 million per se, okay? But you just have to show them you have the 10 million somewhere, and that's it. Anyway, that continues. Talking about thieves and the bigger thieves, and now they are coping. You have been reading the news of, at least you have been reading the news of Gandollar, the Babariga mobile banking CEO of Kanu. Now, Abdullahi Gandollar is currently being prosecuted in Kanu by the Kanu government, who says they have evidence of the dollar banker when he was collecting the deposits and depositing them inside his Babariga in a video. They said they have more than a video. Meanwhile, Gandollar is the chairman of APC. So yesterday or 2 days ago, there was a breaking news. Oh, Gandollar has been suspended. How? Who? Where? What happened? Nobody knew until later in the afternoon when from nowhere we heard that the state's exco, they have lifted the suspension. Oh, okay. So who suspended him? Well, they said that the secretary of APC, in his ward, because he has brought shame upon them. And that is haram too. Like Gandollar has committed haram. So somebody is following the teachings of Master Fodio. But nevertheless, he had to be shut down. He won't give up. That's the problem. The state tried to say, ignore that person. Who is he? Secretary of what? Ward secretary. Suspending national chairman. Who is a career thief? Who you be? But from nowhere, Baba, bam, there is a court order that has now validated the suspension of Gandollar. The gap between Gandollar as a former governor and then becoming former chairman and possibly an ex-convict. All this won't really diminish his public record, okay? The more criminal you are, the more likelihood you will be rewarded in Nigerian political politically rigged system. Remember that. So there's no point in, and it's, oh, it's finished. No, they are not finished. They are not just always finished. There's always somewhere, and the enabler somewhere that will always bring them back to prominence. But for now, Gandollar is believed to be standing on a very tiny rope. And the only straw is clinging on to in their coven, APC. Ebekebe is what Tifnumbu would say. And while some other groups are trying to raise alarm, groups like this, Gandollar came out to say Tifnumbu promised him that nothing will happen. All this corruption, this thing and that, they will not touch him. But before then, some young people have already been to the media doing this.
Their intention, as we have since gathered, turns the personality of the APC national chairman to a point where President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is forced to remove Ganduje from the office. We have pondered the incentives that will make grown men behave in such an impossible manner, but could only come to the conclusion that these men are desperate to eliminate Ganduje from the equation to pave the way for them to defect to the APC. Some of the associates have fainted that even though they see no future for the NNPP in the 2027 general election, both men are uncomfortable with being Ganduje's underlying in the APC. For us in the Arewa Peace and Development Initiative, our concerns are many. First, we are worried about the implication of this kind of nefarious tactics for our polity. A situation where a political party, in this case, the NNPP, is allowed to criminally impersonate another party. The APC, to torpedo the latter's leadership, is utterly dangerous, condemnable, irresponsible, and must not be allowed. Permitting this to stand without the collective condemnation of Nigerians will turn our democracy into a jungle where only the criminally minded will strive. Secondly, we are worried about what Governor Yusuf and Konkoso plotted in planning violent crises and arrest in Kanu. State is dangerous for the very reason that the violence they were bringing to the state will most likely get out of control and spill the other Arewa states. Given the other security threats and issues confronting Arewa, such duplicate desperation has no place in our current socio-political configuration, such that the North must rise as one to exact consequence from Governor Yusuf and Konkoso for daring to undermine our collective well-being in a such manner. Furthermore, it is our firm belief that the people of Kano State deserve better. The money from their taxes and the state commonwealth should not be converted into a war chest from which some people, including those without any business with the state coffers, deploy to pursue their ambitions. What the populace need is good governance, and that will not be delivered by political crisis, protest, or violence. Consequently, we call on the APC at the state and national level of diligently pursue the investigation and prosecution of those who purported to have acted as the executive of the
nuisance lele.
nuisance Arewa. Somebody said this one a nuisance Arewa. But that's how they do it. You know, if I was you, I would pay more attention to how young people are learning the rope of playing their tribal, ethnic, political card whenever they feel like their interest or wherever they have interest is about to be touched. So these were supposed to be Arewa Youth for Peace. Arewa Youth for Peace, what the hell is your problem with APC? Arewa Youth for Peace should be for everybody. You shouldn't concern yourself with whatever happened in APC. Why don't you say APC Youth for Peace? I want weary. They put Arewa so that it can look like Northern youth, Arewa youth are concerned that Gandollar go jail. Or Gandollar will be removed as chairman of APC. All these Ashiris, all these Munafikis, all these Damborobas, they are those who are shouting, Aram, Aram, blasphemy, blasphemy. Here and there, they will tell you Islam does not allow anybody to but Islam allow you to support thieves and you munafikinos. I wish I understand that. I would have used that on them. But the worries are many, and they love giving themselves different names. Take a look at another set of them fighting for the Babanriga mobile banking CEO of Kanu. Heaven will fall. People go happen. Protests go take if you touch Gandollar. Really?
State of our party at the moment, the zeal by the opposition to cause disaffection among party members. Gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the entire members of the concerned APC members, we welcome you to this very important press conference. It is very important and crucial to us as a party because our home has been invaded. It is with real shock we received the news of suspension of the APC national chairman, Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, by some members of the new Nigeria People's Party, NNPP, who disguised as members of our great party from Ganduje ward of Kano State. The impostors even went far in using the name of our party's legal advisor in Ganduje's ward to announce the purported suspension of our workaholic national chairman without prior concept of the said legal advisor, even though as a legal advisor, he lacked the powers to suspend officers of the party. Hence, such power is vested on the ward chairman. Gentlemen of the press, it is obvious that the Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso-led faction of the NNPP are ready to return to the APC, but does not want to do that while Dr. Umar Ganduje is still the national chairman. The Kwankwasia movement had even wished Ganduje death before now and could do anything to ensure his removal as the national chairman of the ruling All Progressives Congress, APC. They had once connived with some North Central elders to push for the removal of Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, but the North Central elders, later led by the former Senate President, Senator Amebute, boldly passed a vote of confidence on the national chairman, Dr. Ganduje, and his working committee members based on his credible performance as the national chairman of our great party. Mr. Kwankwaso and his co-travelers have now devised means of causing more disaffection by trying to get the ward ESCO of Ganduje ward of Kano State to suspend the national chairman, but couldn't get any. So they resorted to impersonating some of the ESCOs in order to mislead the general public. The 27-member ESCO are intact and had since addressed the press and disassociated themselves from the purported suspension, which is now dead at arrival. In view of the above narrative, our democracy is clearly in danger, and this threat is coming from an emerging terrorist organization known as the Kwankwasia movement. It was obvious when one of the fanatic Kwankwasia members refused to remove his red cap as a mark of loyalty to the NNPP and the Kwankwasia movement, yet he claimed to be a member of the APC. Impersonation is a criminal offense punishable by law. We call on the Inspector General of Police and indeed the Director General of the State Service to immediately arrest the impostors and prosecute them to serve as deterrent to others willing to orchestrate such devilish acts in future. These are people who openly threaten the judiciary during the tribunal days. They have no regard for the rule of law or any constituted authority other than the NNPP-led Kano state government. If these impostors are not arrested and prosecuted immediately, in a short while, some members of the PDP and that of Labour Party may constitute themselves and suspend President Bola Ahmed Tinubu from the APC. And this is why we are calling on the Director General of the State Service, the Inspector General of Police, and all relevant security agencies that those who purportedly suspended the active national chairman of the APC are not members of the party. They are impostors, and the IGP, DSS, and other security agencies should fish them out, arrest them, and prosecute them to serve as deterrent to others. Thank you.
Nuisance lele.
Omo. Did you see all of that Oyibo, all of that gargantuans? Is because a thief is the national chairman of APC, Egbekegbe, and is being held for his crime. And that is why you are hearing all of that, DSS, Nigeria, this, and you should come in and if they just hand him over to the Kano State Anti-Corruption Agency. I know the video showed Gandollar collecting bribe 16 times. He collected over $5 million, 5 million cash. They were bringing it in cash. He was collecting $5 million. And in the Bible, they say if your eye make you sin, what did they say you should do to it? Remove it. And now, if Moses need 10 commandments, I think. Moses' commandments. If you are caught in Sharia, listen to this. If you are caught in Sharia, stealing, now from here they go first give you the long sleeve. They go cut off one hand. If you steal again, they will cut off the second one. Then that means you can't steal. But if they still say you don't steal again, they will cut it to short sleeve. You don't steal again, this is, this is like something we say they have to cut the second one to short sleeve again. If you can't steal again, and your own situation is beyond ordinary in here, but they have, from record, once they remove this and remove this in Sharia, except you can't even have any hand to carry bowl. So it simply means that except when you are doing like that, you are, asking for arms and all that. So in Sharia, when you steal, they cut off your hand. So in this case of a Gandollar, that will save everybody all this grammar. All this grammar, you won't need them. Because the situation is the same. In Kaduna, all because El-Rufai was their governor. So Gandollar told his supporters that some enemies are coming for us. Enemies who don't want us, blah, blah. Enemies who want to come and get a Tifnumbu. All of this, Gandollar said, Tifnumbu told him not to worry. Gasikiane, no worry, no worry, no worry, kind of like this one. You understand? Don't worry. Jia, and sugar, kabasa. Oh, damn it, I can't get that. Listen.
Jia, na shugaban kasa. Ai masa bayani yace akwai hakuri kuma ya gode muku abin da kuka yi. Na gaya masa abin da aka yi dodore. Ƙwarai da gaske. Sai gobe ma zai yace ya yarda. Amma ku yi hakuri. Wannan kujera da suke hari ya ce kujerar nan ta zauna daren dam. Gwamnatin jihar Kano kujerar shugabancin APC ta Najeriya tana kan Abdullahi Umar Gandollar. Kana lafiya baba. Ya ce wannan kujera tana nan daren da.
70 years old man.
So Gandollar told them they shouldn't worry themselves. Tifnumbu had assured him that let them say whatever, I'm not going to remove you. Okay? But if you hear breaking news tomorrow that Gandollar has been removed, that means that Tifnumbu changed his mind. But that is yet to be seen. The same can be said of, APC, Egbekegbe na bad society, APC, Egbekegbe na bad society, APC, Egbekegbe. Sort of. A word I think it's a word, chairman of APC, Egbekegbe, a demand called Ariyo Ajiroba, all the way from Ondo State, where they are preparing to have their governorship primary, APC, Egbekegbe. See, old man that will see people like you, young ones, and tell you that these are this generation, all they know is money. They don't want to work. All this young generation, they don't have any patience. They don't have any respect. This young generation, they are spoiled. Baba, these are Baba who are like career criminals. And this one, let me say, start them now. Well, anyway, as a member of APC, Egbekegbe, others moved on him when they said he started producing the membership card, something like a pass that they will use, in securing the party ticket on who will become the governorship candidate of APC, Egbekegbe in Ondo State. See, this old man is somebody that will probably tell you, you lack home training, you lack moral, you don't have respect. Or when you see old men, supposed grown-up babas, involved in criminalities kind of like this one, right? So you then ask yourself, say, oh, like you will never change. Criminals also grow old and they live among us. like this old man. None of my business, but I saw that on the way, and I wanted to show you.
Membership.
Who gave you the authority? Where do you get your authority? Who gave you the register at this time?
What was that? I started campaign. 2 weeks ago.
Yes, sir. They gave you the right.
That if there's somebody that didn't have a
Membership card.
so we should register them. That is all
Okay.
for the voting.
Are you an executive in your ward?
Exactly.
You are an executive. Okay, and you are a member of APC.
Exactly.
What is the constitution, the bylaw of that APC spell out concerning the issue of registration of the membership?
Although I cannot answer that.
Okay. Can we take our leave now? Let's go to the nearest office. Yes, with all these documents. Let's go with that.
Enjoy this. Some police station. This is online membership card.
Please, let's scan all these passports.
It's part of the evidence, please. It's part of the evidence.
All these passports.
I can't even.
Let's scan all these passports.
It's part of the evidence.
How many passports? How many passports?
You come and say it.
Please, let's count it. Let's count it. Please, let's count it. All the passports.
Registration has closed.
Yes. Okay, let's count all these things. How many? 1.
They review a lot,
2.
so this is.
Don't worry. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Do we still have any other ones, sir? 13, 14.
What is you having inside the last night?
Okay, let me see this.
I just
Don't worry, let me see.
it's not registered though. It's not registered.
How many do I count before?
This one's not registered.
I want to know who are these people. Who own this?
This one's not registered.
Where do you get all this one?
Hello? Mumbo. This one is not registered. Gentlemen,
But it's about to.
hello.
Back in the inside.
This one is not registered.
It's about to be registered.
We know about the
Nigeria is so corrupt, which I regret the day I was born in this country. It's unfair. This is unfair now. This is unfair. Nigeria is so corrupt, which I regret the day I was born in this country. It's unfair.
It's unfair. Imagine the older people perpetuating fraud, which they expect to influence the results of their own party's, what do you call that again? Nomination, Abi. And then those guys, they will go on to unleash more and more poverty on their people. A lot of you have your parents who are members of political parties here and there, involved in different shady criminal manipulation to bring about the sadistic, heartless, criminals that are lording it over everybody all over that contraption, Nigeria. But to you, my daddy is a politician. He's all this old timer politician. They have been, that stuff. But this is exactly what they do. And the end goal, this is not Somalia, somewhere in Yoruba land. Our people look like those who went to go and collect relief materials from World Food Organization, the World Food Program, and the other people who are contributing food to help the victims of, survivors of war, Yoruba land.
In the time of poverty like this, the economic principle of Yusuf is what everybody should apply in his own lives. Eat little, save more. You don't know what is happening. Kese la nri lowo, makasakasa timbo. A dollar was just 800 naira or thereabout a couple of months ago. Now a dollar is over 1,000 naira. How much will it go? Nobody knows. Tori to nse falafulu. Ogba salary ikilawa. Ìgbéraga week. Gbéra rẹ̀ sanlẹ̀ láìpẹ́. Eat little and save more. Ayé tá ń jẹ chicken kọ́ la wà yìí mọ́. Ayé shawarma kọ́ mọ́. Ayé ice cream kọ́. Mú gààrí. Jẹ pọ̀nmọ́. Gbàgbé táwọn doctor sọ pé kò ní nutritional value. Kí ló fẹ́ nutritional value pẹ̀lú kíní? Jẹ pọ̀nmọ́. Mú gààrí. Orí ẹja. Wallahi kò rẹ́rìn.
What are we do today? Today, I will live up my voice in space. Oh, yeah, what I know, you are always there for me. Yeah. Oh, my God, you are my only Lord. Forever when they say,
I will praise the Lord. They have turned our people to Alimanjiri of Kaduna, Alimanjiri of Kanu. Our people are carrying bag of rice in their hundreds because of hunger. Hunger created by APC, Egbekegbe, in the last 10 years, Nigeria. They destroyed farms. They destroyed economy. They destroyed the currency. They destroyed the morality of the people. They destroyed everything destroyable. Then they want to offer the solution by telling us the contributors to all of this are working among us and now they have their time. Like those of Kaduna. Yeah. They are investigating what El Rufai did to them in Kaduna. And the former speaker, they are probing him now that all the loans he took, there is nothing to show for them. All because he has something to say about Kolu and the subsidy and the economy and his incompetence and other things they are yet to tell us. Here, the Genesis, might just take you there quick, yeah?
I wish to align ourselves with
The 13-member committee was formed in response to the Kaduna debt profile amounting to $587 million and another 85 billion naira, along with 115 contractual liabilities. This development follows a town hall meeting with stakeholders and the public led by Kaduna State Governor Ubasani, addressing the state's financial situation. The Kaduna State House of Assembly is establishing the committee to investigate the methods employed in obtaining the loans, as well as the status of projects abandoned by contractors within the state.
Findings on 3 issues: approvals of all the debts appropriated funds for the projects and other finances related to the state social infrastructure.
Speaking to journalists after the plenary session, House Committee Chairman on Public Accounts, Mugu Yusuf, emphasized the need for this investigation given its public interest.
So by the time we verify through this powerful committee, lucky enough that the Speaker and all members have accepted to constitute, we'll find out to know the position of things. And so that if anybody is involved, whether individual, whether organization, or contractors or contracts are awarded and they are not done properly, we will definitely recommend for sanctions and for refund of all money regardless of whoever is involved.
Then we're not accusing anybody, but all we are saying is that you cannot, before you collect loan or before they give you loan, you will tell them what you want to use the loan for. And then you cannot collect that loan and then the job is not done and people keep quiet.
The committee has been tasked with submitting its report within 1 month.
But everybody knows that El-Rufai collected the money and he stole it. If they can't find what he used the money for in their state, then the money is stolen. This committee, that committee, that is just a drama. Just come out and tell us how much is missing and where do you think the money is. And who collected what? They are already there. All the other things, they are just a bit of a side attraction. But here is what I believe the former speaker of the same Kaduna House had to say about the loan. We did not even approve the loan, he said.
My honorable colleagues, I remain Yusuf Devain, member representing the West. This is my day for yeah. I've been waiting for this day, and the day is today. I suffered a lot by fighting not give approvals of loans. Some of my colleagues are around. They are still members of this hard chamber, including my party, the former deputy speaker. They are all against me. Say I should give governor approvals. I say no. We need to know how many loans we have. Can we pay? I suffered a lot. Now, even the present governor, I met him once. I brought his attention. Your Excellency, these loans, the former governor is taking left, right, and center. I believe he's planning something. He said, no. I said, sir, you what's this? Doesn't yes. Yes. I'm sure what's this? Please, you see, they are all our leaders. So, someone may show it and say it's okay. It's okay. I want to align myself with the mover of this matter of public importance. It's very important to do this. This is the right time. Because the Kaduna state, they can only pay salary. Even the salary sometimes, they have to borrow to pay salary. Thank you.
But the hypocrisy about these guys is that just like the rogues who are with the druggie, the Fnumbu, or should I say the criminals who were with Bokwari, they were all there praising, they would praise you. When El-Rufai was there, the little Hitler, the Kaduna little finger, he was like the Lord of the Manor. All of them were doing that to him. They were praising him to his face. Now he's no longer that powerful. He can no longer do anything to them. So now, they are now like, but these ones who are there will do the same thing and even worse. And they will never dare say it to his face. That's the hypocrisy of, the power. Because if you dare challenge it, you will not have your own share. And a lot of them want to have their share. of the largesse, what do you expect? Well, let's go to another thing. Ladies and gentlemen, today, the leader of the IPOB, the indigenous people of Biafra, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, appeared in court. I think there are some details you also need to know of what is really going on. I want you to see this first, and I will add that later.
Yeah. I'm fine.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
Will come to an end.
Or after the court case? Can I pass, please? Thank you. I'm recording. Tell Bobo. Oh, okay. Who is it?
Council, just 2 minutes privately.
No camera, no camera.
So what happened in their court today? Number one, his own defense, which believes that the Supreme Court ruling that ordered for what they believe a continued or resumed trial with the restoration of all of the last or reinstatement of his bail. But Binta Yako today threatened to postpone or adjourn Nnamdi Kanu's trial or the sham trial indefinitely. And indefinitely means his case will never be brought up again until whenever they wish. And what's our reason? Our reason is that the defense, that is Nnamdi Kanu's lawyers, they were kind of submitting or protesting how the DSS, how they have been treating him and how they have been treating his legal team that number one, all the applications they put forward before Unyanko have been sort of rejected, even without any real opposition to this from the supposed Nigeria prosecutor. Nnamdi Kanu is not provided with the exclusive sort of a privilege of lawyer-client relationship or sort of privacy. According to his legal team, the DSS in Nigeria, they placed a recording camera in the room where Nnamdi Kanu is engaging with his lawyer. And whenever the lawyer is leaving the facility, especially with a dictate or some dictates from Nnamdi Kanu, like when you rub mind with your clients, and you decided that, okay, yeah, maybe we should try this or try that next, they will take all of this away from him. He is not allowed to take out any sort of writing or so from his clients. He can't sit down to discuss, the case without the DSS sort of recording it, only to go play it to, well, people believe that they sort of transfer that to their lawyer, the prosecuting lawyer, a prosecution lawyer. So his defense team, they've made repeated requests from, repeated requests to the Nyako's court. Number one is access to his own medical doctors for assessment, access to better facilities like medical facilities like hospital. He is suffering from different kind of medical, diagnosis, so to say. So many of them so dangerous that they are life-threatening. I mean, they presented evidence of the supposed doctors, the doctors provided by the DSS to check him. I mean, the DSS provided their own doctors to check him. Their own doctor came out and they gave a report that he needed a serious and urgent medical attention in a better equipped facility. But DSS didn't let him have that. And on several occasions, all of these have been presented as a means of protest, application, request, and all of that to the court of Binta Nyako. And in most cases, Binta Nyako will give order. Oh, let him have access to a better medical facility. Or let his doctor come and check him. And the DSS will blatantly disobey those orders. And when Nnamdi Kanu appeared in their court again, and the same, even last time, he personally made a personal request to the Binta Nyako. Save my life, except if you really want me to die, or you are all going to wait till they say he's dying. Now let's release him. He said it right to the face of Binta Nyako. He said, they want me dead. That is why they are doing all of this. They do not have any case to try or anything. They just wanted me dead. They want me dead. And Nyako was angry and mad today that Nnamdi Kanu is not ready to come and defend this case. So she threatened to adjourn it indefinitely if Nnamdi Kanu's defense team failed to put up their defense or whatever by the 20th of May, which is next month. And then that was when she adjourned. It simply means it's going to be a status quo remains. Nothing changes. They want him dead. And I don't know how some of you probably really deals with this. So Nnamdi Kanu is asking that the Igbos should defend themselves as they pursue, they should defend themselves against the Fulani terrorists who are coming to ravage and ransack their land. And what he was saying at the time is what some of you now say freely now. Oh, we need to defend ourselves. We need to stand up. We need to fight this and that. And they are locking him up for that. I mean, I don't know how you will manage to explain to any rational mind not to see this whole thing as the same systemic profiling of the Igbos. Igbophobia in short. Because what exactly would you say he has done to warrant Tinubu to continue the Boko Haram's Fulani jihadist conquest and fight? What? Like somebody would say, majority of those who were the victims of Boko Haram's jihadist terrorist government using the instrumentality of the Nigerian states to hunt down the supposed Nigerians who publicly either exposed their scheme or agenda, or they became very much outspoken against that murderous regime, incarcerated, exiled, or what have you. We have seen how many of them have been let go for some behind-the-scene arrangements that suddenly became working when Tinubu was there. But when it got to that of an Igbo man, that system is no longer working. They are keeping an innocent man in jail with millions of his own comrades, kith and kin and kinsmen, so to say. And they are watching how you are actually running this your one Nigeria. I told you, if anybody tells you that don't blame Tinubu, blame Boko Haram for the illegal detention and the kidnapping of Nnamdi Kanu, the continued detention of Nnamdi Kanu and the attempted of killing Nnamdi Kanu as soon as possible, all of these are no longer Boko Haram's responsibility. Don't ever join them to say, but it was Boko Haram now, so you wanted Tinubu to release him so that the Fulani say, it is no longer Boko Haram's problem. It is now Tinubu's problem. And every day that Nnamdi Kanu spend in that illegal detention, the torture, the denial, and everything, if he dies, Tinubu will be held responsible for the death of Nnamdi Kanu. Just as every day is locked up right now, Tinubu is responsible for that. And there will be consequences. You may tell yourself, nothing will happen. That's all right. It's okay. I've told you this many times. There are some days you will see those who told you that this contraption is untouchable, is non-negotiable, and every other nonsense they've told you. You will see them on the run, and you will be wondering, is this really happening? Because it will. Sooner or later. It will. And then I will keep requesting, let the innocent guy go. He has done nothing wrong. He wanted Biafra, so he wanted these people to stand up against the Fulani terrorists. Why are you not in support of that? Do you actually support, the bloody jihadist campaign of the Fulani terrorists in Nigeria? Do you? So what will you say is the offense of Nnamdi Kanu again? What? We'll keep putting it out there. If anything happened to Nnamdi Kanu, Tinubu shall be held responsible. And I say this with all sense of sincerity. And the Agbadorians who want him dead or killed, may you actually be able to live through the consequences of such happening. May you. Let's go to the next one. But this sounds like a tea break. Good luck, Egbere Jolantan once said.
Thinking about how we've been having this conversation about the unity of Nigeria. And I reflect back at some of the prominent statements made by some of our founding leaders. And I feel that probably this will help us to have the conversation on the Nigerian unity. I just brought four, not to bore you. First, and I quote, not my statement, Nigeria is not a nation. It's a mere geographical expression. There are no Nigerians in the same sense as there are English, Welsh, or French. The word Nigerian is merely a distinctive appellation to distinguish those who live within the boundaries of Nigeria from those who do not. This is accredited to Chief Obafemi Awolowo, the former Prime Minister of the Western region. The second one, and I quote, it is true that we politicians always delight in talking loosely about the unity of Nigeria. 60 years ago, there was no country called Nigeria. What is now Nigeria consisted of several large and small communities, all of which were different in their outlooks and beliefs. The advent of the British and that of Western education has not materially altered the situation, and the many and varied communities have not knit themselves into a composite unit. This is accredited to Sir Ahmadu Bello, former Premier of Northern Region. The third, and I quote, since 1914, the British government has been trying to make Nigeria into one country. But the Nigerian people themselves are historically different in their backgrounds, in their religious beliefs and customs, and do not show themselves any sign of willingness to unite. The Nigerian unity is only a British intention for the country. This is...
And that is so true. One Nigeria, one united Nigeria is only the British intention for their colony. The people they call Nigerians are just an appellation given to people in that geographical expression. As for the people therein, for 60 years, they have never attempted to be one. We have never attempted to be one. It's just the politicians who talk loosely. Nigeria unity is not negotiable. Nigeria is, and you educated idiots trying to sound politically correct. This country is a great country. God created this country. God, now so something where God create, your God, now something where your God create, now so it be. We don't like ourselves. All we need is to respect ourselves and in our respective countries. Why is that too much for you to understand? Why are you holding on to something that is not real? They lie to you and now you find out, yet you won't let go. Anyway, we shall see. Thank you, Charade. That was a very good one there coming from your mouth, even though they are not your words. But they are very good for this period. Guys, I am going to belabor you with some tantrums fight between the Obidients and the Agbadorians, and I actually chose to play you this video, or this audio rather, because a lot of you have heard about gaslighting by the APC. I'm talking about how they use religion, tribe, and then they accuse you of what they are doing. Are you listening? So they will accuse you. When APC accuses you of something, you lack this, you don't have this or that, you are a bigot, you are a religious. They are doing exactly what they are, and you will be there like, me? Is it because I said Tinubu is a druggie? Does that then quickly just make me a bigot who hates Yorubas? But Tinubu is a druggie, drug dealer. So me as an Igbo man, if I call him a drug dealer, how does that make me somebody who hates Yorubas? The APC, Egbe, I am talking about starting from the Buhari days, the Buhari Dideris, the Buhari Denotus, the Buhari Dijatus, the Buhari Shukus, the Ungoziaris, the Unneka Aris, the Unnena Haris too. The sophisticated morons, obedient fools, and humbled slaves. It's those ones who are like the bat idiots, the bastard, Lagos Abobakus, Oshogbo Alimajiris. Those crumb eaters, crumb chasers, ass lickers, you know, including their uncles and aunties abroad, who will quickly gaslight you. And you begin to kind of doubt yourself and be like, I mean, they wanted you to believe that if you say something about Tinubu, it is simply that you hate Yoruba. No, it is not true. It is not true. They say to you that if you are a Yoruba who does not agree with a druggie, that should never be anybody's role model, not a role model for any younger generation. He and his history entirely should be expunged from our history completely by the right people when the time is right to put this history of Yoruba land together. Somebody like Amodashon Golere, Tifnumbu Kolu, the Jaga Were, Jaga Addicti, you will expunge everything about him totally from our history. Nobody must read about him. So there are Yorubas who believe that, including me. But do you know that the Olori Bruku Abobakus, all these bigots, religious, ethnic, local champions, they copy me Yoruba. They say I am Omo Ali. I know my papa. I know my papa. I know my papa mama. I know my mama. I know my mama papa. My mama mama. I know my grandma, grandpa, both on different sides. I know the tree of my family on both sides to at least 4 generations. I'm not joking. Ahead of me or before me. Our family root everywhere in Ijebu that you go to, you will see me there. Tongolere that erased his own family history completely, denying them from Irabiji, adopted by another druggie, Madam Mogaji, who sent him to America. We know what he went to do there. Then Olori Bruku Omoale, they will now call somebody like me Omoale for a druggie that can't point to the house of his father. If people can't point to the house of his father, he can't say, this is my father's house. He can't. So we know all of that. And when they are doing all of their gaslighting online and the rest of that, some of you probably don't really know how it works. Guess those who are promoting the bigotry most, they are living abroad. There is one of them, very useless boy. He lives in England. In fact, his voice is in the audio I'm about to play to you. So now you can relax, okay? I want you to pretend that you are obedient, even though you are not. Okay? And at that moment, sit there and listen to how they build gaslighting and how they build them into such a way that they believe the lie. They will be lying against you, living in denial of what you know, planting doubt here and there. But he met his match. That's why I'm bringing this to you. So relax and listen to this dear chat. This is how they deal with themselves. This guy lives in the UK, to start with. Listen to him. He's an Abrodian, Agbadorian. They are abroad. They have no plan of living in Nigeria, but they will live off any crumb that comes from the desk of these guys. But listen, his name is Dipo.
The names and to the handles. If me and Deji Adeyanju are friend, I will not try to destroy Theo Abaga and Uchina Wata because they are Deji Adeyanju's friends. And there's a limit tonight. Some of you are sounding reconciliatory. Some of you are sounding very gentle. Some of you, are saying we should de-escalate the names and to the handles. If me and Deji Adeyanju are friend, I will not try to destroy Theo Abaga and Uchina Wata because they are or just friends. And there's a limit. All of the people in Lagos, they know where they meet in the bar. The folks in the Abuja, one way. Person go sabi person, way sabi person, they will resolve the issues. But you guys, this new generation of political activists on Twitter, mostly faceless, and they are this is the most dangerous set of political activists or political commentators I have ever come across. Saddam, it is not by force to support Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Atiku, Kwakwanso, or Peter Obi. Why should I become your enemy? Because I don't support the same presidential candidate as you. It doesn't make any sense. There's another lie that some of you guys started when Chinelo was shot in Kaduna. There are at least 15 people who are on my private stories on Instagram. I went and said, my God, someone has been shot. This girl has been shot. Something has happened. I posted the evidence of all of those things on here. Shortly before that, I tweeted and said, people are mocking someone who has been shot. And I shared one of the tweets to show, I shouldn't have done that, but these guys have been going on to say that, oh, he mocked these people, he was mocking this girl, blah, 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 blah. For the life of me, I will never, ever do that. Not even to my worst enemies, let alone an innocent girl that I don't know. So all of these statements that, oh, he hates Southeast, he hates these people, it's not true. It's okay to dislike me. It's okay not to give a fuck about my political opinions. But there's no need to tag people bigots. There's no need to say, oh, everything I say, you now twist it around. In the last 2 hours, Jimmy has said some things. Daria has called me unintelligent. Someone else has called me names. I haven't responded to any of them in a negative way. I haven't, been overly critical of any of these individuals. Because I'm okay to be abused. I'm fine if you want to say whatever you want to say. But please, don't defame me for 2 years and expect that you're going to walk away. Saying I was sacked from a university that is public, that you guys can go and verify. That light carried on for 2 years. After my birthday last year, I fell down, I broke my nose, I passed out. I passed out. I posted that picture. That is the picture that this Kaduna, whatever his name is, has been using, comparing me to pigs, comparing me to goats. He couldn't even use one of my fine pictures on Instagram. Maybe if he had used one of my fine pictures on Instagram, I would have been, like, Nasmotin. But I nearly died. My nose, that picture I posted was after 10 days. I hit my nose on the toilet and passed out. This guy has been so vile. Every week, he has something to say about me. Every week. Saddam, you're a parallel reporter, whatever. The stories that you put out is unfair. My tweets about, the endangered species stuff, I've said it repeatedly. It wasn't even about obedience. I did say that people who support the Nigerian government, listen, soldiers, policemen have been killed. There's this man from Lagos, I can't remember what his name is now. His house was burnt. People were attacked during the election. You can actually say it happened in other parts of the country. Yes, it did. But some of us who are not cowards, who don't lick the asses of politicians, we called it out. I criticized all of the violence in every corner of this country. And for those of you obedient who still hate me so much, I have never ever one day been paid by anybody in the APC. If you see me doing all of the things I do and living my life, I earn 10 pounds, I spend that 10 pounds. I earn 20 pounds, I spend that 20 pounds. If there is a candidate on the ballot, if there is a party I support, I put my own money, my own resources behind those candidates and those individuals. Saddam, your parallel facts people, please clean up your page. Clean up your page. There's no need to continue to defame me. Saddam, you were sounding a bit emotional. Please look for a bottle of Star or a bottle of Heineken. Relax. Let us focus on education, on healthcare, on good governance from different perspectives. All this noise where we they shout. How much now in the last 2 hours? How much have I earned from this nonsense? It's almost a waste of time, and a lot of people have said, oh, don't reply, don't blah, 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 blah. Guess what? My name is important to me. And that is why I have repeatedly stated in the last 2 years that I was not sacked by any university. I was not sacked by any university. I was not investigated for sexual misconduct. Fuck's sake, I'm a black African man. And you say I'm investigated for sexual misconduct, blah, blah, blah. Will I ever get a second chance in this country? The answer is no. My tweets about Obidients, the latest tweet on my timeline about Obidients, asking for reconciliation.
His name is Depo. Okay. And he became very popular on social media for writing CV, okay, for Nigerians who are looking for jobs. When they tell you that they are writing CV for you, it's like they promise, he's publicly committing crime of faking CV for people, lying for them to get jobs. But it was at the time when it was a good thing, it was like that until he became a dog whistler for APC. He lives in the UK. He lives in England. He became a dog whistler for them. Okay? He will come around and he will just drop something that are mostly tribal drug, tribal dog baiting, sort of a baiting, tribal baiting convo. Is so kind of, I don't know how to describe him. I watch him from far. Probably if you see my video, you'll be like, this guy know me too. I watch all of them from far. I have never seen people who are so primitive and evil-minded that their exposure never really does anything to them. For real. People you look at and be like, they took you out of Nigeria. They never took Nigeria out of you. Nigeria is never taken out of you. Then he paraded himself as a doctor. So when he stable turned, was when he started calling the Obidients Igbos. In fact, to him, to that idiot, Obidients are Igbos. And you see today, all the narratives you have seen everywhere, where some people pretended to be ignorant and deluded to let you believe that Peter Obi and those supporting him, they are Igbos. There is no other person supporting him. If you don't support him, the people who, everyone who doesn't support Peter Obi is called enemies of the Igbos. Igbos never said, if you don't support Obi, you are their enemy. No. There is nowhere I have seen anybody who said, except for the bigots versus bigot, because they get bigot for Igbo land. And you have the Yoruba bigots too. They are doing competitions, okay? I am saying that I have not seen anywhere where people said, oh, because you are not supporting Obi, you hate the Igbos. No, I have not seen anywhere. In fact, I've seen Igbos saying Obi is a distraction. They don't want, he can never be president. Igbos themselves say, he can never be president. Why does he want to be president of Nigeria? Instead of him to work together and get Igbos out of Nigeria. I have seen people who have accused, you didn't hear him there. He said, if I don't support your candidate, that doesn't mean that. Then he told them, he said, he's never been to Igbo land, or where he lives in the UK. Oh. He's never been to any part of Igbo land. Oh. Okay? But since he joined their tribal championship, it is so unfortunate that majority of those who actually champion and who play the dog, who blow the dog whistle of the tribal and ethnic and religious divisive rhetorics in Nigeria, they actually live abroad. You see those ones who are in Nigeria amplifying it and the rest, right? Those ones are just like helping to spread it. Majority of APC, spreading this divisive stuff and then accusing other people of doing it. I have seen a lot of them. I had to cut out, you won't believe this. Maybe he is also going to see this video. Maiyegun today, Ani Esunraki, Maiyegun today. He is a very good brother of mine, but I had to cut him off from far as well. I'm talking about people who somehow, once you have anything to any link with APC, somehow, they will railroad you into making you believe that defending APC, is defending Yoruba or speaking for Yoruba. So I had to cut him out too, and I wish him good luck. That's what I do. Once I begin to see the character that are totally alien to what or the type of a life that I choose to live, it doesn't matter our relationship, I will cut you off and you won't miss me. I promise you won't. That's what happened to that guy who sang the 2 songs in on my platform here. Just like we removed the we are going to remove the Maiyegun today. We're going to remove Maiyegun don't come or I'm going to remix them because I actually own the rights. I own the master to that sound. But I'm trying to tell you how people have been somehow with the promise of like attention, promise of a validation, or promise of I don't know. Mostly it's not actually promise of money. APC, Egbekegbe, is a contagion. Whatever it touches, it destroys. And I don't want to have anybody that has anything to do with them around me. I told you this before. If you have anything to do with APC, Egbekegbe, you better keep it away from me. I have family members who have sympathy for them. But somehow, they do watch my video too. And guess what? They don't want them where to come to me and start kind of like projecting APC before me. They know it. It will be the last time. I mean, like, what kind of family member would I have? And then you are somebody who is really defending APC next to me. We will never do anything together. Like, let that what do you call it? Family bond. Go ya cut off danu. Because to me, anybody that is supporting APC, whether openly or secretly, is somebody that can kill me. It's actually somebody that can watch evil happen to me. I don't care who you think you are. You know, I'm a very good person. Don't let politics divide us. You are divide. Because there are some signs that God will give to you. If you don't pay attention, you will destroy yourself. One of the people you should never have anything to do with, no matter how good they are to you. In fact, if you are depending on anyone who is associated with APC, I have been advising you for a long time. Begin to find your way out of their life and cut them off completely. You will be doing yourself a great deal of favor. I mean it. Except if you are also a closer supporter of this Olori Brukus. I have done a lot of series on them to the point that I know what I am talking about. I will never have anything to do with anybody that has any sympathy for APC. And if you do, you have to keep it away from me. That's just the deal. I'm not going to force anything on you or talk about BRA. Don't bring anything APC closer to me, even as a family member, because they are so evil that I don't know. Word of mouth cannot describe their evil. I know what I'm talking about. People that attack their own fellow Yoruba because of the Nnamdi, they call them Igbo. They attacked them, they caught them, they injured them. But this one lives abroad. Let's continue with their own breakback because that guy is calling his name, is going to respond to him too. Here is the other part.
Tonight, some of you are sounding reconciliatory. Some of you are sounding very gentle. Some of you, are saying we should de-escalate. We should have a middle ground. I am really impressed. This Holy Spirit, Jesus Christ, my Lord and personal Savior, that has arrested some of you, I hope that the others who are still hiding on that face
again is lying. That's what they do. Oh, people are begging us. People are already begging me. People are already talking to. That's what they do. They are so hideous and so evil that if you don't get the same madness or something that is higher, you will be manipulated. It is called gaslighting. Nobody is begging the Olori Buruku. He is so worried and he believed he had any image. But I'll tell you this. It later came to show that they told him, Ogbeni, the open center for, they call him Ogbeni Depo. You're opening center to help people forge CV. Tell the employers about them. You are saying, they are lying to their employers. You call that one job. I think somehow they told him, and since then, nobody want me to do CV for them anymore. He is doing CV for people who don't get job, for country who don't get any job. He lives in the UK. Then he turned to APC, maybe for possible easy access. Somehow, it got him exposed. So he's lying here. I am aware of this one. Let's continue.
tonight. Some of you are sounding reconciliatory. Some of you are sounding very gentle. Some of you, are saying we should de-escalate. We should have a middle ground. I am really impressed. This Holy Spirit, Jesus Christ, my Lord and personal Savior, that has arrested some of you, I hope that the others who are still hiding on that faceless account, I hope that they will come out. There's no need to hide on that faceless account to defame other people. Come out, whatever you say, put your name to it. When I tweet stuff and people say, oh no, blah, sometimes I delete. Sometimes I explain why. Nobody sabi and finish. Nobody gets sense finish. And I am not here to deliberately try to upset Igbo people or anybody for that matter. I'm not here to try to rile up people. I'm not here to try to do anything. You guys have been you've been so good. You've been so friendly tonight, allowing Obenedipo speak. Omo, even me, I'm considering rededicating my life to Jesus Christ. Have a good evening.
All right, thank you very much, Ogbeni Dipo.
I'm back.
Please,
I'm back now.
yeah. Wait, comrade, please wait. Ogbeni Dipo, please, can you stay when Saddam makes, his rebuttal or response to you? Please, nobody should jump in. I did not censor you. I allowed you to speak. So let's hear Saddam. So yeah, over to you, Saddam.
Saddam goes 9 minutes 39 seconds. Obenedipo used 9 minutes 39 seconds.
Jimmy,
No barriers,
girlfriend,
no
then
nothing.
Oh, Bayawo me. I'm just saying, I'm stating.
Jimmy.
Jimmy, I beg, Jimmy. I didn't put no time limits. I didn't even censor him. Say what you want to say. But it's Saddam's turn now.
See, to be fair, I
Nobody
even
should jump
want
in, please.
Kweku the hustler to go. I want Odogu to go. So, Jimmy, that's why I make Saddam go. You understand? So we can just be conservative with time.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Dr. Ogbeni Dipo, good evening, sir. First of all, I will start with, you see, when you come out and speak, I'll try and speak like you are, like you speak, so that probably I can convince people and probably deceive people that I'm a good person. And you see something about people like me. People like me, my kind of person is that I don't know how to pretend. I don't know how to lie. I don't know how to hide the facts. Ogbeni Dipo, you're not a good guy. And I will tell you this. Let me tell you this now, because you might look at and act as if many of us are foolish. You woke up and wrote a tweet. The ruling party largely looks away as its members and supporters are unfairly targeted, attacked, defamed, cyberbullied, and harassed repeatedly. It is unbelievable and sad what has happened to O Nsobu, a supporter of the APC from a state where APC folks are endangered species. So this your tweet right now. It is a very straight, clear tweet that if you know when you tweet these things, you know that when you come out to defend it now, you come out and defend that you are talking about the government. Somebody now asks you a question. You mean APC members are endangered species in Abia State? How? You now said you now took it out. Anyone supporting the government in the East is endangered. People have been killed by terrorists. Houses have been burnt. The stories are all over the internet. You now took a story that someone asked you a question because you said, folks, that you said a supporter of the APC from a state. Which state is that? Abia State, where APC folks are endangered species. There have been no history anywhere on any internet or have not heard from anywhere that an APC member has gone around castigating or calling names or insulting anybody in the East and that person has been attacked. Not one history. You have no facts to back that. But you came out with your over close to 1 million followers and you threw that tweet out there. To gaslight, you've used the word gaslight so much, so let me use the word on you also. To gaslight millions of Nigerians and hoodwink so many people. And all of a sudden, you put a target on the state. You put a target on a region that have been suffering from bigotry for so long. Should I take you back to Lagos, what happened before the election? Because you think the problem with Nigerians is that many people will forget so quick. We saw Labour Party's members attacked, beaten. Videos abound across the internet. These are facts. What you spoke here and what you wrote here are not facts. And we kept quiet. We have not been the one to attack you people for one day. I've never for one day stood up and said, let me attack you. I've never for one day, any day I make a general statement that because I group all of you that support the government, that support this system, because you're trying to tell us, let's talk on healthcare now, let's talk on this thing. If I talk on healthcare now, I tell that Tinubu has been useless to healthcare, you will take it as offense. You take it as offense. And if people start insulting me, let's talk about education. I'll tell you right now that education, we are failing education, a sector that you're keenly interested in. What have Tinubu done in 9 months? You can't even talk about it. You don't call this government out. And I repeat it again, Obidients, I was following you with my 300 followers in 2015 elections, and I saw the dirty politics you guys played. I'm saying it to your presence. I'm not saying behind you, your presence. You were always retweeting your... Omodua was like your godfather then. You had like, I think 100,000, or close to 80,000 to 100,000 followers. You know what I'm saying? It's true. In your heart, you know what I'm saying? It's true. Omodua was you retweeted Omodua like, if Omodua do, you retweet him. Omodua was the one that compared Jonathan's wife to a sheep hippopotamus and said if they put a pig and Jonathan, he will vote a pig and go home and rest. Omodua was one that leaked and they talked about the death.
Anyway, that's the Saddam guy. And that's how they do it themselves, though. And when they hold themselves together, when they hold on to themselves like that, sometimes they call it violence space. I want you to listen to the rest before I continue too, right? Yeah.
And died or something. Oh, this was your clique. Will you come out on this space and deny Omodua as your friend? Or that this was not the clique of people that you guys were actively campaigning with? And you come out and call these PDP boys. For me, today I can be Labour. Tomorrow I can be anywhere. Because for me, I'm all about looking for good governance. I'm not someone that stay in a place and I see all the debt and I see all the nonsense the system has brought this country in, and I stick there and call myself a party member. Because you go and sit down in a bar and drink together. I'm not that kind of a person. I know them. You call the deities of this world. This is their work. The tears of this world. This is their work. Political hallelujah boys. I say it to their presence, to their face. Any day I will say it. I know that I won't hide it because for me, I'm looking for good governance. Probably in 20 years' time down the line, if what we are fighting for, and I'm happy you say that you have not seen a wicked, a vile people like us. it is good that Nigerians are actually waking up and be vile to the political class. Because if I ask you a question, Dipo, you're close to your 30s to 40, your 40s right now. What has Nigerians done for the people? Why should Nigerians even be comfortable supporting this system that has kept us where we are today? And you see people standing up, getting angry, questioning the system, fighting for the system, and you call them vile, you call them angry, you call them emotional. Why shouldn't we be emotional? And Nigerians not dying from this nonsense maladministration that we're facing every day? Any young thinking, right thinking Nigerians should be rallying around these young people, understanding the plight of Nigerians. Nigerians are running away from the country every day. Some are running through the day. You see some people mocking those that even mocking my brother Harry that he walked through the desert. Are we not ashamed of ourselves that Nigerians in 2024 are using the desert to run away from the country? Then when we come out to speak about these things, your people will insult us. You are not angry that come out to speak about these things, your people will insult us. You are not angry that the man with the head of Benin Expressway, Pastor waiting at the corner, you are not angry that he defamed me and Sarah. You were on that space and I had the recording where you were saying Sarah should be arrested. You are angry that Sarah said something bad about the judges. You are angry that Sarah said something bad about the people that have kept us in this freaking failed system. You're not angry that Sarah is saying that somebody defamed you. A screenshot that if you bring 1 million of those screenshots, all the screenshots are the same thing, different colors, with three views. Only 3 people view that view. Till now, I'm looking for the 3 people. We can't see them. Nobody have come out and say, I saw that tweet deleted. No man, even the coward that have been calling me a criminal, that you even said he is your friend. You said only is your friend. He has been going around spaces calling me a criminal. The only came on this person and I asked him, name the crime I've committed against you. He has nothing to say. Only is on record saying that he saw that tweet himself. And he came here today and said that he did not see it. That what he saw was screenshot. You have no problem with them defaming other people. Then it is you that you have a problem with them defaming you. If me, if me now, as I speak for myself now, I don't defame people. I can insult you because I don't have a good mouth. If you can insult me, I don't have a problem with that too. But I will never defame you. But every time I stand here and say, Ogbeni Dipo, you were very toxic with your friends pre-2015 elections. Anybody that's on this space that know Ogbeni Dipo 2015 elections, please, if I'm lying, come out and say it here. Ogbeni Dipo, you were very toxic. You have been showing it and it has been exposing yourself up until where you are right now. I don't know what has consumed you. You've gotten to a point where right now you have gone down so low that I see you going into bigotry. The kind of rooms you're in, my brother, you shouldn't be there. And I really hope this Lord and Savior Jesus Christ you practice that you're calling. I really, really hope he really, really arrests you, because the one we arrest you, now maybe now we ask him. If the real one arrests you, my brother, you have a real return. Because honestly speaking, my brother, no. You have really done this generation wrong. If I ask you now, why, if I want to ask you, why Tinubu? Why Tinubu? What can you stand up? You as a PhD with your PhD. Why Tinubu? Why Tinubu? In that answer lieth who you really are. I hear the mic.
Okay. Can I get a few minutes?
Okay, okay, just 2 to 3 minutes. So I want Odogo and Kweku to speak. They've been here for a long time. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll keep it very short.
I told you that's what they do when they hold themselves. So don't shout on me or shout on you too. You understand? Nobody's going to beat anybody until when they started arresting themselves. And APC, Egbekegbe said the sewage dwellers, they started screaming that they needed immunity, they needed cover. Excuse me, they needed cover because the Obidients are oppressing them, they are harassing them. Why Tifnumbu? I think he has something to say to that. My player, Mr. PhD.
You have really done this generation wrong. If I ask you now, Why? If I want to ask them, why Tinubu? Why Tinubu? What can you stand up? You as a with your PhD. Why Tinubu? Why Tinubu? In that answer lies who you really are. I hear the mic.
Okay. Can I get a few minutes
Okay,
to push back
Adanya,
on some?
okay, use 2 to 3 minutes. So I want Odogo and Kweku to speak. They've
Okay.
been here for a long time. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll keep it very short. First of all, Saddam, let me start by saying that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is not useless. He's not a useless president. In 2015, I had about 2,003, maybe 2,500 followers. I was already working in a university in the UK, and I had been very, very careful of the things I put out. Anything that would cost me my job, anything that would disintegrate the country, I never ever post or retweet them. Go and look at my timeline. People have called Peter Obi criminal, fraud, scam. Did you see me ever tweet any of such things or retweet them? The answer is no. Omojoa is my friend. He's not my godfather. There was never a point in time that he was my godfather. Or whatever clique or friends, that, you say I did, blah, blah, blah. See, individuals actually do take positions based on their own personal convictions. Why Tinubu? Because people want him. The people who support him, the people who voted for him, they want him to be president.
Please, you
wanted
please speak for
someone
yourself,
else.
please, people. Just you. Why Tinubu for you?
Say, I no match your tongue when you dey talk.
No vex.
Why not? These people, see, go to primary schools across the UK or in Germany. You see primary 2, class 3, democracy, freedom of speech, all basic things, freedom of association.
Nuisance lele. Wèrè oní PhD sọnù. Àbígbà tó sọ àwọn ní PhD di àbígbà tó sọ PhD di mẹ́ta tó kọbọ̀ lórí Twitter. People wey can't get PhD, they have to do ṣàlàyé. PhD mi ò ń ṣe PhD dípò o. My PhD is not from Oluwole o. My own PhD is not on CV writing o. Ó wá sọ PhD di nonsense ẹgbọ́rọ̀ ẹnu wèrè. White Ifnumbu, he said if you go to primary school in the UK, if you go to primary school in Germany, they were teaching them basic, democratic, and all of that nonsense some more. I have told a lot of you before, I said, some of you who are interested in Nigeria, and somehow you are listening to some lunatics on social media who live abroad. They tell you they love Nigeria from abroad. They tell you Nigeria is going to be a great country. Those are the idiots. Those are the ashiris that are loving Nigeria from abroad. They do not love Nigeria. Nobody loves Nigeria. Some people just love the fact that if they look around and see how much, sort of a backward they have become in their lives. When they look at all of you in Nigeria, they feel somehow fulfilled. They feel like their life situation can never be as worse as your own in Nigeria. So why should they support your life being better? Some of you don't even know that. A lot of them are suffering from different, mental health problems. And it is only in the UK, America, where they can get better medical care. And there are those who are telling you that Nigeria is going to work, Nigeria is going to be great. Empty head, empty scores, idiots. And a lot of you too, bro, beaten, poverty-stricken, and even the fear of it has made a lot of you to kind of make a god of men out of these lunatics. Deepo, PhD, around London. I mean, I remember how I used to see all of Una for UK before I came to the UK. Maybe you cannot allow it. How could you be here and with everything where your eyes don't see, and you are seated there and you have something to defend that of the criminals who are ruining Nigeria, those who sent us away, who got us to run away, and you tell me you don't have any mental problem? Maybe you cannot allow it. Sure. Anyway, I've got a lot of stuff to show, but it's like my time is totally up now, and I want to take calls. You know me now. I would possibly like continue, but let's take calls so that we can actually like mix it up and enjoy it. But before that time, Theo, Nigeria, this video is going to break your heart, especially if you are a mother or a father, a parent or a guardian. Above all, if you are human who can think and reason. And this little this short numbers is just like a bit of a glimpse into a bigger epidemic of what Nigeria has done to our own youth. See what they have done to these young girls. I did my best to cover their faces. I can only cover a bit. Watch this.
13 years. Hey! Yeah. How are you? 13 years. Yeah. How are you? 17. How are you? Huh? 19. Go on, 18 years. Go out here. Go on, Huh? Put up wire. The petition against this space. Why you prevent the time is enough for your mom? I don't want to compare the amenities never here. I when you couldn't do more than I cause I your time. I be next time feeding there, guy with Sheva and the papa number. Hello to how? I'm also no more.
Somewhere in the eastern part of Nigeria, young girls as young as 13 are being traded for sex. They are sex workers. How bad and how worse do you think it can really get? How? It is Nigeria. I'm so sorry I missed that part of the Wiki, which I wanted to share with you. The house of the Yoruba nation, alleged Yoruba nation agitators hideout in Ibadan. The Oyo state government has brought their katakata and they have demolished the house. I'll keep that for tomorrow while we take a short break. And when I come back, I will take calls. I think I actually have somebody on the line, but you would have to wait for me for another 1 or 2 minutes. Now, if you haven't really liked this broadcast, you can take a moment and just leave the comment section, okay? Go and like the video. We are over 1,600 or so, especially on YouTube, but less than how many of us? 400 of us have actually really liked the video. This may be your chance before you go. I will be back in a minute or two.
Ewa.
much, everyone, for your time. I do have a caller, and that must be Idris. Is that you?
Yes, sir. Maiyegun, good evening, sir.
How are you tonight, my brother? How's it going?
I'm fine, sir. I'm fine, sir. Yeah, first and foremost, I will keep saying and I'll continue to say that thank you very much for the enlightenment and thank you for giving us this platform, for sharing this information to us. Even we that we are in Nigeria, we are not that privy to all this information that you are giving us. Before I even, for example, now, this information you are giving to us now, by tomorrow I'll get it down, I'll get it from our mainstream media, which you've even gotten. So I don't know. I keep applauding you for all what you have been doing, and may God continue to strengthen you.
Amen.
And give you more wisdom. And Nigeria, this is where we are. Let me start from the EFCC of that Idris. Let me start from Idris. I don't want to say Idris. Let me say Bobrisky because he's denting the image of Idris' name. So Bobrisky. So I believe that I think his own. He went to the school of BSc in law, while that of what is his name? That one he read the real law. In a nutshell, Nigeria, if you don't have money in Nigeria, you are just like nothing. So I believe that it's just a charade that they brought Cubana to this thing. I know that it's going to be out of that. He will not be going to that prison or what have you.
No,
so
he's on bail already now. He's already released.
I know that he's going to be released on bail.
You knew that he was not going to go to any jail like Bobrisky.
I knew. Even the way he was walking into the court, he's walking like a big man that so that's what it is.
I see.
So, and I saw that of another useless display of madness that happened in Abuja, that Yeye Bello's resident.
Right.
And I saw the Gangatwa governor, the baby governor that walked in.
Is that what they call him?
So no, I know.
His name is Olodo. What is his name again? Ododo.
Ododo.
Right.
So I was not like, so this is what Nigeria has come to, eh?
It's a lawless place.
It's a very lawless country, very lawless. So that is another one. Let me speak to another, that of what happened on Sunday at this church, that Dunamis church. So I was not like, man, and you keep saying that two things, especially two things disrupt Nigeria. Number one, I mean, this political, I mean, this ethnicity and religious, it really affects. And I was not like, look at what is happening. And now, Maiyegun, I believe Maiyegun is not Maiyegun is not that a religious person, per se. But it will not, and that of on some atheists, they will not look down to at least we that we are less religious, because I can't say I'm a true believer because
we are my conscience just respect you for what you are. But a lot of the religious people don't respect us. They always want to save us.
So
I'm just trying to save you, Maiyegun. I'm only just trying to save your soul. Leave my soul. Leave it. Or go on, Idris.
So,
that's what I say to people.
What I was not trying to say that. So these people, they're not going to be looking down to us that, oh, look at them, look at them. And this particular woman, I believe that she should have been in that church for almost like 10 years, and she's paying tithe. And look at the outcome of it. The pastor just
right? Because I remember the whole story is about her coming to give a testimony, right? And
exactly. So it will not stop people from from not giving testimony, Abby. And the next day, even the pastor just to come out to come out and say you send your secretary or the church secretary or this thing to go and apologize. So I don't. There is no man of God. Oh. There is no man of God. You are
Anyway,
yourself.
Thank you so
So
much.
thank you, sir. Let me give you to
Yes,
talk. Thank
you've
you very
done
much.
well. You have a good one, okay? That is Idris there. And there is something about religion that Idris was trying to kind of mention there, right? A woman who had been attending Dunamis. Some of you have seen that. I just didn't really pick it because I don't know. She made a video and said people should forget about it. They've settled it and they've apologized to her and all of that. But she was berated. She was kind of like, I want to look for that word. She was disgraced at one very big, mighty, massive stage, Dunamis Church in Abuja. So what happened was that she was giving a testimony of how she has improved her life and how God has changed her life. She went back to school. She got a LLB in law, something like that. Now there Wahala started. The pastor now was telling her, somebody when they give testimony, no, you're lying. There's nothing like that in law. No, listen to me. There's nothing like that. And she was like, yes, sir. It's true, sir. Shut up your mouth if you don't want, something like that. She was pretty much shut down. But she did go to school. She did graduate. But she said her problem was she can't speak English, or she had a stage fright. And you know that in Nigeria, these people are like God of men. You know what I mean now? Your pastors are like gods. If you are in their presence like this, you're going to shake. Yeah. You are expected to, because it's a man of God, he carries anointing. Now, if you now see the crowd, thousands, I think Dunamis Church is the biggest church in Abuja. I mean, with the biggest auditorium, business center. I like the guy a bit. I don't like him all that much. The way he treated the Revolution Now people in his church and then tried to want to twist it, that made me not to like him. But I like him for the fact that he sometimes still speak what I believe men of God should be saying. I don't know if you believe in them or not, but I kind of like the fact that he could use his platform to actually speak out. Whether he's working or not is a different story entirely. But the lady was pretty much like overwhelmed. So she had to release all the details, confirming that she went to school. She was a graduate. She's a lawyer. And then they called her to apologize. Not apologize, probably just called her, brought her inside their room. The husband and wife, mommy and daddy, they kind of like sandwich her in between them, made a video to say, like that. They're like grinding from here to here. And they said they've settled it. And so, what should we say? Religion. Here is my part there, Austin. How are you today, Austin?
I'm fine, Maiyegun. How are you doing?
I am very well, Baba. Thanks for asking.
My God. My dear, you're welcome. Anyway, your show is like, I don't know how to describe it, but it's always been my soul.
No, it is relatable now. Share you guys. You can listen down there, and we can get angry together, we can laugh together, and we can sober together. It's so relatable. That's why a lot of you have so many connections to some of the stories. Maybe that helps.
The issue is that even I'm all the time busy in the night, but I can't miss your show. I don't know how I can't miss it. So because if I miss it, it's like I have missed something. But the issue is that I really appreciate your effort. You are doing wonderfully good, and I keep on saying, may God richly bless you.
Amen. I need that.
Thank you for standing for the truth. Because for the past 12, 10, 11 years I've been following you, you have never changed or diverted. You are being consistent and moreover more eloquent in speaking the truth.
Thank you.
So I give you kudos to that.
I appreciate that.
So coming to the issue of Nigeria, I like have the same spirit with you. Like for me, Number one, anyone that is believing in one Nigeria, I'm sorry to say this, but this is my opinion. I hate the person with passion. I'm sorry. This is me. I don't pretend. I don't hide my feelings. Anyone, even in my own family, if you believe in one Nigeria, I don't have any regard towards that person, because I don't know how someone would trust something like that. Something you did not create, something your forefather did not create. Nobody have the idea of how Nigeria was forced on us. And you believe in it. And you want to preach to me to accept it. So for me,
and then you are telling me
I don't regard that
person.
person.
Do about it, whether I like it or not.
Yeah, and there's nothing I can do about it.
You want me to
whether I like
happy.
it or not.
When you told me I've got no choice, there's nothing I can do, so I should be happy. How does that work?
Yeah. So for me, it is no go. I will never love that person, and I will never believe in that person. That is number one.
I will be careful.
Number two, anyone that is talking about APC, like you said, I don't even know how their conscience, where their conscience is. Sometimes I ask myself if these people are the normal human being, or they are just choose to pack them one side and say, behave this way. They lied a lot. They never stand for integrity.
No.
They castigate everyone. They gaslight
like
and
you can't hold them responsible for
exactly. Just look at RFI, for example. Use RFI and cross-check other APC members from the east, from the west, from the north, from the south, from anywhere. Check all of them. They behave the same way.
Same mindset.
The same mindset. It's as if they were picked.
It's like a cult.
And check their supporters. None of their supporters are mentally stable. Check. Bring an argument to them, real argument. They can never bring a positive argument.
They can never have
It's like
have a conversation. No. They don't have.
They don't have any conversation. They don't have it.
No.
They don't have it.
If you hold them on here and say, "What about this? Look at this one." They will twist it and ask you other. They will use questions to ask you a question and say, but when PDP was there, what did you say? What did you do? But that was
exactly.
This was like 10 years ago now. But that time, what did you do? Did you talk? I say, oh my God, lives are being destroyed right now. You want to know if I talked 10 years ago, I didn't talk. Are you being for real? Yes, now, if you didn't talk 10 years ago, or if you didn't talk during Buhari time, leave Tinubu to do his own 8 years. They are unbelievable. You're right.
Just look at the question that guy asked him now. Why do you choose Tinubu? He starts telling you democracy is preached in school, in Germany, in England. What kind of madness is this? And he says he's a PhD holder. He's a PhD holder. So you see the mindset of average Nigeria. That is not everybody, but let me be honest with you. Majority of Nigerians are criminally minded.
No doubt.
It is the hard truth.
That's no doubt.
It is the hard truth.
That's a fact. We may not be able to put exact number beside it, or you say majority.
Yeah,
you are not far from the truth.
Majority.
Not far.
Very majority. Because do you know it's only in, I have lived in many places, but it's only in Nigeria that we hear someone, I'm trying to digress a little bit, that we hear someone will tell you, where I got to work now, my brother, the money I'm making by the side, I'm not even touching my salary. I don't even know how much they are paying me for my salary.
And
I'm making a lot of money.
With so much confidence.
So much confidence, and be happy about it. I am telling you. You will see in everything about Nigeria is criminality. You can never find something straightforward about Nigeria.
No.
You can never find.
No, that's straightforward.
And someone
digging. That thing that looks straight to you is not straight to. Even if the one way they look straight, go check and well. You go realize, say, I deal with you, Austin.
Maiyegun, do you know I was building small thing, and we make an estimation of ties, and we went. We talk about it. We talk about the people that will do the ties, and I said, okay, no problem. These are the guys that I know that eat with me, do everything with me. We come in conclusion about it. That was it's a small place. We come about 2.something million. Then when I came back, my wife said, it's better if we go home, you do it by yourself. We go. Do you know how much I spend? These are the people that I counted on that they can't. Well, I spent almost 700,000 for that small time.
So save yourself over 1 million, yeah?
1.3 million.
Over 1.3 million.
Wow. So why I'm saying this is that the mindset of Nigerians are so much evil. Majority, sorry to say this, majority, but not all.
They call it being smart.
Exactly. That is what African Wahala said, was it yesterday? That in Nigeria, you need to climb on someone to climb up. You need to stumble on someone to climb up so that you'll be feel fulfilled. If not, you are not going anywhere. That is the mindset of Nigeria. So what we are having today from our leaders is part what our leaders are doing, but it's part of us. We want it. We are on the line waiting, turn by turn Nigeria Limited. If it comes to my turn, I do the same. I do worse than that. We are carrying what Buhari did. Tinubu is not going worse than Buhari. And let me tell you, if any other person came after Tinubu, he will do worse than Tinubu.
It will. The system allows it.
It is like that. It is like that continuously. The reason why it is like that, because it's a contraption that no one in Nigeria created.
It wasn't
because
for Nigerians.
Anything that for Nigerians, anything that you did not build, for you to destroy it is just at a twinkle of eye you destroy it.
You know what I say to people? When something is not built for you, obviously it is built against you. Think about
Definitely. Definitely. So that is the problem of Nigeria today. Look at, we have come even to the church where we say we worship God, we believe in God, we do this, we do that. And one of the members come to testify. Let's say that it is lie. If you want to embarrass her, is this in the public? And now he is feeling too much big to come and apologize. The untouchable. These are the same people in Nigeria. When evil will be going on in Nigeria, they will not speak it. They will be telling you, you don't know what God can do. You don't know what God can do. God can change. The Bible said the heart of the king is in the God's hand. He will turn it. Why the hearts of our leaders, are they not in God's hand?
Austin.
Why are we so in this mess that we keep on supporting one Nigeria every blessed day? Instead of all of us to talk about to divide Nigeria, they don't want to divide Nigeria. They don't want us to go our separate way. Let me be honest with you. We don't love ourselves in Nigeria. We don't love ourselves.
No.
We don't.
Everything they make up to make us look like we did. I mean, we do love ourselves. Make up by the politicians. Jonathan said, politicians speaks loosely. Unity of Nigeria is not negotiable. There is no Nigeria. There are no Nigerians. So these are just free talks of the politicians. It will break.
There are no Nigeria. Yeah. Definitely it will break. I believe you so much. Maiyegun, thank you for everything I've been doing. God will immensely reward you. Thank you, my dear. Thank you so much.
You take it easy, sir. Okay. That's Austin there, ladies and gentlemen. He is a veteran and he's a regular. I have another caller, but I'm going to ask him to hang in there for me for a sec. So that I can say thank you to this my big brother there. Or is that big or just my brother? Anyway, that is Oshifeso. Festus, bro, thank you very much for that your super chart. And indeed, yes, it says we didn't create Nigeria. Exactly what Maiyegun read today from a fatherless nation or fatherless people. Come on tomorrow for the book recitation. God bless you, man. You're good. So let's take this. Hello there. Hello. There, can you hear me?
Baba Gbalagba.
Baba
Gbalagba.
Good afternoon. Happy good evening, sir. Rather, how are you
today? Good evening, Baba. Okay, Martinelli.
Nice one, Mato. Baba, see, that is a Martinelli, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be
Greetings
interesting.
to the temple of the truth. All the brethren and all the sisters in the house, I greet you now. Please hit the like button as always. Please hit like, share, and let other people know what Maiyegun is doing and listen to this wonderful.
So that is a Martinelli, please, sir. Go on.
Thank you very, very much. Thank you very, 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 very to infinity much for the book reading and the analysis on the history of Nigeria, the one you do in the daytime. You know, I really appreciate you. Unfortunately, we don't have as many people as we have in the evening. We don't have them.
I know, and we don't want to do that during our prime time. People really want to know what is really happening.
You know, I don't know. It's just a suggestion. I was just thinking because I think maybe in the evening time, because you already have that pool for the evening. I think maybe one chapter every now and again, because I don't think people are actually listening to that one as it should be. Because Baba, you see that book you are reading, you see that book you are reading. It's unfortunate that book is supposed to be a part of the curriculum of the Nigerian educational system. Everybody in Nigeria,
it is so detailed. If you take your time to actually read it, Baba.
You know, when you read up to the place of, you know, what the primitive expectation of the Benin Empire, when you read that place and the detail, the way the author described it, I mean, he didn't really, you know, give the nitty-gritty, but at least he did a good job.
That I really like, exactly.
And I was so impressed because I heard stories too. I heard, you know, histories from my parents, and it wasn't far from what.
Okay.
So, you know, like, and obviously I understand a bit of the history. Yes. So, but reading that book and trying to join everything together, because
exactly, it will refresh your mind so good, so well that you will remember some certain other things. Yeah. And it just makes everything come together like that. Like,
do you know what I mean? And not just that, because that book, in the beginning of that book, towards the middle, towards the ending, it spoke about the history of all the individual ethnic groups of Nigeria. Yes. So it's not just about the Hausa, it's not just about the Igbo, it's not just about the Yoruba, it's not just about the Middle Belt and the South. It's about everybody, and how the West, because a lot of people keep saying, oh, the West, they have nothing to do, blah, 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 blah. Baba, this current arrangement that we are existing in right now is a machination of the West. They created it, and even up until today, everything that like the way the whole thing is playing out is exactly what they proposed and how they.
Absolutely. I used to say, Martinelli, I used to say, let us just stop blaming this British and let us talk to ourselves. I think I'm going to stop saying that now because I know better now.
Baba, you know, Baba, like for me, I served in the army. And when I was in the army, there were a lot of things because, you know, like the system of military system in Nigeria is exact carbon copy of the British military system.
Really?
But there's a few, it's the same thing. The rank, everything. Now, so it be same. Is like they literally transported it, but they left out some things. There were some things that they left out. There were some trainings that they left out. And I noticed this when I was in the army, and I'm like, but this thing is not right. Why? Baba, everything, the way Nigeria is, the army, the police, the navy, is a failure by design. It's a failure by design. Nigeria can never, ever, ever work. It can never work. And until the people who live in that contraption or who identify with that contraption, until they realize that there's no way forward. No. We just have to come to that realization that this is not going to work. We have to sit down as a people. We need to discuss. It's going to be very difficult. It's going to be very hard. We're going to argue. We're going to fight each other. But there's no need. We don't have to kill ourselves. We actually don't, because there's enough for all. Every region has enough resources to prosper. Everybody.
That's right.
Every region, whether it be manpower, natural resources, economical resources, everything. We have the resources to prosper individually. And then when you prosper individually, then you cannot start talk about how you want to collaborate with your neighbors. And then, you know, with that collaboration, then you cannot start talking about how you want to, you know, conquer international borders or international ground. But without that conversation, without that, you know, that agreement, we can never function.
No.
This current arrangement is a design that the imperialists put in place to benefit them and a selected few, a few that they have chosen, the chosen ones.
Yes.
to benefit them at the detriment of the large multitude. And until the general population realizes that, Baba, there's no way forward.
We are in for a very long rough
We are
ride.
in for a big ride. You know, just a little side distraction. You know, I mean, we're talking about your personal music artist who disappointed you and is supporting APC.
It didn't disappoint me. I just thought that people should be a little bit more careful throwing away goodwills that they have garnered for years just for APC or defense of APC. Like
if somebody like you, like because now technically you are my leader. If my leader can lose a close follower, a close relative to APC, who am I? I'm sort of hopeless.
Baba, I walk my talk. God help me. I walk my talk.
I am hopeless.
I am telling you, when I tell you to cut them off.
That song. I love that song so much.
I know. We just have to come up with something. And it's actually a song, all right? You know, technically, right? I own the whole thing about it. Okay.
I know, but it's just.
But every now and then, I mean, I have to, you know me now. You know, I know too they keep something away. Okay. Sometimes I feel like I should learn to keep some stuff to myself, but I am not like that. I speak the way I feel, all right? And I do my best to keep the rest to myself. But something is that when I need to give an example of how far I can go or cut people off based on their beliefs or ideas and all of that. You see, I am somebody who doesn't impose. See, if I tell you this is who I am, that means you know who I am. Now, if I know who you are, if I know we don't have anything in common, there's no point in pretending to say, oh, but we are just friends, but different ideals. No, I don't deal with people who don't have my ideal. And they meant to show it, right? Which is when there's no point in, you know, we are not going to last. And every now and then I'm going to suspect you. And I don't want to suspect. But you know what they say in Yoruba now? When any tabambari.
Yeah.
Kama furasi.
Kama fura, yeah.
Any tabafurasi nko.
Yeah.
Kama bari.
Kama bari.
Yobano sobe. It's an easy word, Baba. If I suspect you, Martinelli, the ideal thing is for me not to relate with you.
Baba, you know, talking about suspicion, how are we going to defeat these people if you can't even trust somebody? I mean, if you can't trust your next man, the next person that we're fighting together. I mean, look at Sunday.
You will find your own. See,
and
Martinelli,
you are coming and staying there. We should
Martinelli. We will find our own like minds. You found me.
I found you, Baba. I found you, but
do you know how many others you found since you found me?
Now see people.
No, I'm saying now, Martinelli, you know how many people you have also found, like-minded people, after you found me?
A lot. African Wahala, one director.
It is as if when you lose one, you gain 10. When you lose one of those treacherous snakes, you gain 10 here. It's as simple as that. You're always going to be in a community of people of like minds. You're going to feel comfortable. You're going to hear your view. They're going to hear theirs. You're going to have so many things in common, then you're going to feel comfortable like you are right now. One day, you are going to physically see people like you that will gather in their thousands.
We will.
And you will see your brothers and sisters there. They will be your brothers. They will be your sisters. That's how I see it, Baba.
True, Baba. Until then, though, we just...
Until then, we have to keep holding fast. Steadfast.
Baba, please, don't off the mic. If anything, keep it.
Thank you.
Keep it down, Baba, because...
That is my belly.
I just know. I just keep thinking one day, like I know it will have to be a nightmare to just wake up one day and Maiyegun is either tired of talking or something happens, or Maiyegun just say, you know what?
I know. I
fear.
I dread that day too, because Martinelli.
I fear that day because
Martinelli. You know why I dread it too? That one day. No, wait. You know, say Martinelli. One day. This microphone will be seated here waiting for me, and I won't come. I dread it too. That will be the time I'm dead. You get that? So what that means is that until then, Tony Resi by then.
I just hope that they don't come.
No. Because he put our no dollar. It will
not happen because with the likes of that Olori Buruku PSG, only son no. With the like of those outside,
everywhere.
The people are hopeless because imagine a PhD holder coming out and chatting so much shit. And look at the person that was even tackling him. I'm pretty sure that guy doesn't even have a BSc. And look at the way he was articulating himself, and he was able to analyze his stupidity and his foolishness. And you know, he couldn't say anything. They are asking you what they are still done. You are talking about primary schools to Germany. Are you mad? Are you mad? Maiyegun, please, can you please play them what Tinubu says is going to do to their economy? That video.
Which one I say we have to? Okay, I'll look for it.
I was going to tell you that that video.
And I'll look for it.
Help me to be playing that video at least once a day. I would really appreciate that.
I will look
so
for
that
it.
They can know what Koluse is going to do for them. Please.
This is one of them.
Thank you
for those who might have forgotten how Kolu
because Nigeria,
some of these guys.
They have forgotten.
This is how he convinced the PhD holders, home and abroad.
Yeah.
That they should vote for him.
They have forgotten. So please help me to remind.
I'll leave this one now. Yeah.
The transmission line is a super highway. For generated electricity and power. They could not even make a down payment for a roasted corn. The transmission line.
There are actually many. Here is another one. How Tinubu convinced PhD holders home and abroad that is a smart guy. This one.
If we lend ourselves to innovation, we can create wonders. Here is a successful again, a town hall, different from
Blue. There are more. I found your video, Martinelli. I'm going to put it up. Here is also another one where Kolu was telling them how it was going, how Kolu convinced supposed educated PhD holders home and abroad. I won't weary.
All classes. You know what they call F level? When you get failure in all the subjects that you take. F9, F8, F9, F8, FF, double F. That is his name.
That's how he convinced the PhD holders home and abroad that he Kolu. And since they were also teaching his children in the UK and in Germany, the basic definition of democracy, Oloribu PhD holder. Kolu is a pure disaster. A lot of them actually supported Kolu because of their tribal bigotry, while some of them supported him because they felt like they would be rewarded by him. I mean, they were looking forward to an appointment from the rogue. It's never going to be enough anyway. So, yeah. Now they are causing that nuisance. Our nuisance, Lori. Yeah. Here is the man. When he was talking at his own birthday, right? It's called the colloquium or colloquium. He was talking about the economy. We first slow down the economy. They don't slow the economy down.
If we reduce the purchasing power of the people, we can further slow down the economy. Let's widen the tax net. Those who are not paying now, if it is inclusive of Bola Tinubu, let the nets get bigger and we take in more taxes, and that is what we must do in the country.
So if anybody is now acting surprised, and this is not waiting till Tinubu promised us. What did he promise you? He's going to do 8 years. Amen. The only prayer be say, make the younger no kill you. or wipe your family off, or wipe your family out before the end of that 8 years. I mean, I will pray for you and your family to survive the 8 years. So you don't threaten anybody anymore with, all these things anymore. At least I think we have actually cleared that part, right? Nobody should threaten anybody with Tifnumbu. It's going to be 8 years. You are going to cry for 8 years, Baba. Cry different from cry. Oh, there are some cries we say be like that of a Egbere cry. Say, what happened? You say, what happened to you now? Why are you crying? I say, well, I'm sorry, And there are those who are going to be crying like, man, this country want to kill person. How did they expect us to survive? How did they expect me to fuel my car? When this petrol is so expensive. That kind of a cry, right? Hey, can you imagine? Maiyegun, I used to spend just about 50,000. I used to spend just about 15,000 naira to fill my tank. Do you know how much I have been spending every week? How much? I've been spending 170,000 naira to fuel my car. You don't sound like somebody who is angry because they can no longer afford to fuel their car. You are just angry that you are spending too much. You don't say you don't get the money, you have the money. Man, I have the money. But what kind of a country is this, Maiyegun? First world cost of living in a third world country, Maiyegun. The last time I bought a ticket going to London, I mean, can you imagine? I had to pay 12 million naira for the. Let me that one. I had to pay 12 million naira for the first class. That used to be like 5 million, Maiyegun. You see, cry past cry, yo. There are some of us that will cry, and our cry is actually not cry. It's called the comfortable people's lamentation. So it costs you 150,000 naira to fuel your car. When I see the fuel, the car, now, what are we going to do? I shan't first serene. I mean, at least I still have to go out. You are spending 150,000. That means you're not really complaining, you're just right. So those of you who are saying to others, those of you who are saying to other people, they will cry for 8 years. Christ, past cry, yo. Now prayer will go pray for you to say, make you and your family survive that 8 years of Tifnumbu. Oshifeso, my brother, sir. How are you?
I'm doing good. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, bro. How are you doing today anyway?
I'm doing well. Just rounding up work and then listening to you as always.
Right. Thanks for that super chat, by the way. And
you're very welcome.
You are the #1 fan of, a fatherless people. Something you are so passionate about that you wanted everybody to have a chance and listen to. And you have been right. It's such an, interesting piece of work. Baba?
Yeah, I was just going to touch based on what Martinelli said about the book. I think maybe after reading the book, maybe during prime time, you might want to do like a summary, because up until now, when I've read so much about Nigeria's history or watching documentaries on TV, it doesn't really go as much in detail as to what this book you're reading has done. So I know a lot of your audience don't really have time to, tune in at the time you're reading it in the morning, which is quite understandable. But a lot of the things going on today, like you read about the creation of Boko Haram, which of course Lugard did, and pushing religion on everyone, and everything that's going on today. Similarly, you can actually trace it back to the early creations of the country.
It's always been there from the onset.
Yeah, and so I actually reacted to one of the scholars that said he hates anyone that's proudly Nigerian. Just like you said, if we had been named Lugard, we'll be proud to call ourselves Lugardian. So
yes, now today somebody will tell you, I'm a proud Lugardian. You cannot break up this Lugard. You can't break up this country. We are all Lugadians. We are one. If they had named, if he chose to name Nigeria Lugard, like what's that guy's name again? Rhodes. That guy, yeah. Road, right? The guy that named Zimbabwe, Rhodesia.
Yeah.
After himself. Go on, Baba.
What do you think though? In the US, there is this subtle rivalry between African Americans and Nigerians or Africans, where we actually come here. Some of us, not all, we look down on African Americans, and there are quite a lot of African Americans who actually have been traveling to Africa and they see what's going on. And they make this reference to how we chose to flee this word called Japa. It's like what exactly it is that we have to do. You know, it's quite easy to sit in the US or in the UK and talk much about Nigeria, while Nigerians probably don't really care, or they are quite unfortunate due to the media they actually consume. But it's just something I've been thinking about. It's like, you know, what are we just sitting in the US, in the UK, in our comfort zone, and we just talk and rant, or you know, what sort of like impact can we have? Maybe like a Yoruba only. I'm just saying, though, not like I'm telling. Yeah, or yeah. So it's it's just of recent
if I get you right, Baba, I know we have so much to really sort of channel our energy towards if we really want to make impact generally. There are so much, including programs or meet and greet and stuff that can actually really build a sort of a larger and bigger community that possibly answers so many questions that a lot of people have been, you know what I mean, like looking for answers for. But Festus, you see, there's something I am currently trying to, in all honesty, right? I'm trying to get a grip of right now. Okay, one of them is that